Okay, good evening. It's as I said to Rev yesterday when we had our pre-meeting, I can't believe we are a month and a half before we go. It feels like we just began planning all the way back in August. Um, house housekeeping before we really get underway. Um, just so everyone knows, the people sitting between me, Sam Buonadonna from the Field of Dreams is here. He's taking Stephanie's seat this year. Uh, then Sal's on the other side of me. Um, I'm going to let Belinda go first to tell us what she would like to talk about this year, and then I'll go over everything else. Belinda?
Hey, Jake, can I actually talk in about 10 minutes? Would that be okay? I'm sorry, I'm driving and it would be easier if I could talk in about just a few minutes.
So, could someone, it was really choppy. Was someone able to make out what she said?
She either said, may I talk in 10 minutes or I need 10 minutes to talk. Something
said
about
she's
10
driving.
minutes, and she's driving.
Yeah. She said she's driving
Okay.
and needs 10 minutes to get where she can talk safely.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's not a problem. When you come back, we'll go back to you. That's not an issue. I will go in order of the evening then. 6:55, Rev welcomes and introduces the panel. 7 o'clock, Lynn will do a brief introduction on me. That is 4 minutes. 7:05, Absecon City Council President Nick Rotunda and Jeff Andrew will do a presentation. That is 10 minutes. We are 7:20. It's John's turn. He will give the speech about Joe Brown. I was able to find from this year, from the Donald Sykes Award, when they paid tribute to him, I was able to find, if we want to use it, I sent it to the Rev. If we want to use it, there is a video that the Sykes luncheon used to memorialize him. It's up to us. Personal opinion, I think hearing from John would be much, much better. So John will have 8 minutes to say what he wants to say about Joe. 7, you'll notice the night of, everybody will get 2 minutes of transition time in between each person speaking. So that way we don't have to passing the microphone if somebody needs something. You never know, guys. Think, for those of you that were involved in year one, think of it that way. That's the way we did it, and it just seemed to flow better. Okay, 7. So that's your 5 minutes for Belinda. 7:37, Mom and Kathleen will give a brief discussion on their topic. That's 6 minutes. Sal, now here's the next part of the evening, the last subject of the evening. Back in October, Sal came to me and said, I want to do a video based on the Field of Dreams. I was there during taping day. I participated in parts of the video. Parts of the video, he very nicely told me, scram when it was not my turn to talk. So I whisked away. So he's doing a video, guys, on the field. He interviewed parents. He interviewed Stockton students, I believe. John, did he interview you?
No, I don't believe so.
I couldn't remember who he interviewed, to be honest. And guys, he came to me. I know I told Linda, Naima might have heard this. I forget where we all were when we were all talking. The point of the video, yes, is because he loves the field, and we all do. But the point of the video, guys, is it will be campaign style to hopefully, and I need you all to cross your fingers, to get me a wheelchair van somewhere down the pipeline. Sal, I'm gonna do bits and pieces on the field myself, whatever he does not say, I'll add in as necessary. That's another 6, 7:48, 7:50, 7:50 if necessary, we have a Q&A. And then he's agreed to sing, Sal's gonna sing at 7:55. That's your last 5 minutes. Closing, thank you. Good night. Any questions, comments on the way out?
I do see down at the bottom for tonight's agenda that you said Zach was participating virtually, but I don't see him on the schedule for that evening.
Linda, he came to me earlier this week and said, may I participate next year or down the line?
Oh, okay.
And I said, absolutely. So he's not even going to be in the area. So
Okay.
Linda, count him in for next time. That is the agenda for the evening. Does anyone have any other thoughts and or questions before I move on?
I do. This is Lynn, Jacob.
Yes,
And I have not been at the other events, so this is probably a stupid question. But do people just know who is next? Or do you sort of make sure and call them up?
well, normally what we've done is in this situation, either Rev or I will call them up when it's their time. Correct, Rev, we haven't gotten to that point yet.
We also
Well,
make a,
that makes sense, you
Yeah.
know, because people might not be watching or whatever. And to keep it moving, if you or Rev Dave are going to do that, I agree 1,000%.
and I think one year they actually kind of sat in their order.
Yeah, we have had the panelists sitting at a head table. So it's kind of like pass the baton down the line.
Mhm.
I personally, and Rev knows this, liked last year's setup. But because there's so much moving around, we don't know if that'll work. Correct, Rev? Isn't that what we discussed yesterday?
Well, we discussed because of presentations and things like that. Also, camera angle, if awards are being passed out and we want photographs, we can't have the table in front of that. So either we have to figure out a large enough distance between where awards are being given and where the people are sitting, or do that in front. And logistical things have to be figured out, and we kind of have to be in the Great Hall to do that. But we will.
Oh, we will. Linda, I'm just guessing. This is not definite yet. But I was, Rev, don't you think that would be a good idea to do the Sunday afterwards or Monday night?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Another good thing is just very recently, a couple of our church members, Van and Dave Vedril, did a lot of work to move all the wires below the ground. And so now we have a little bit more flexibility with where the camera goes. So if we need to move everything back, we can push things back like we couldn't do before.
Correct. Yeah, that's fine. We can work on that Sunday afternoon, the Monday night before. But gang, the good news is everybody is confirmed. Everybody's seats are in order. Linda and Barb know I won't have to run around like a chicken with my head cut off like last year, because everybody knows how much I enjoyed that. It'll be a fun year. We're gonna have fun, but also remember we do have to be sensible when it's time to be sensible at the same time. Where was this is Rev, am I allowed to make mention of the week before?
You're the chair. You can do whatever you want. Maybe I
the
shouldn't
week-
say that to you, but yes, go ahead.
Yeah, please don't say that to him. Please don't say that
Yeah,
to
I was gonna say the same thing, John.
him. No, no.
But
God,
yes,
you-
that's good.
God.
Within
Actually, I want
reason,
you to.
Jacob.
What?
You got, Jacob, you got 1 minute, go.
It was my idea, so you can go ahead.
It was your idea. Rev brought a very good idea to my attention yesterday, and if this goes well, like I'm praying it will, this may be an idea for the future. Rev's idea was to have me come to both services on June 2nd, which is the week before the forum, which is also Choir Sunday, and bring hopefully, I haven't talked to our past attendees yet. Some want to do it, some I have not talked to. Anyway, the idea was to bring some of our past people with me that have participated in 3 years to explain what the forum is about. What's to be expected. I've talked to a few of them already. They're in, they want to do it, and I'm saying, hallelujah, let's go.
Yeah, drum up some excitement. Hopefully get some more of our church people to attend, and perhaps even pray over those who will be leading it.
Just don't let him take up a collection, all right? He'll try, he'll try.
Oh no. John, that'll never happen. Guys, where the heck are we gonna go? Put my papers back where they belong. Kathleen, I will have you go next to talk about your idea for the forum.
So I'm going to be working with Jacob's mom, Heidi, and we're going to work on, we discussed a couple different ideas, and we thought that keeping in line with the idea of showing positive changes, that we would take a few topics that we talked about the first year and show how things have improved up until now. And so we're going to be meeting, we're going to do a little bit of a PowerPoint or Google Slides to show some positive changes. And then from there, go and talk a little bit about new technology that is available now or is coming in the future, so that hopefully 2 years from now, we'll be talking about how that's in place and being used more regularly. One of the topics that we talked about the first year of the forum was I don't know if you remember, I think it was Dave that said we need a rating system to show what establishments are accessible and how it would help people to know. Well, now as part of several programs, but definitely maps, you can look on there and it will tell you if you put an address in, whether it's accessible. So showing how things that we've hoped for have actually come about in the short years since we've had the forum. So that's kind of the goal of our talk, and we're gonna add some more articles and information about it. And then we're trying to think of the best way, because I like John's idea of having people leave with something. And so Heidi and I were talking about ways that something that we could have people leave that night with.
Sounds really good, Kathleen.
Mhm.
I like the idea of the positivity and the changes that we've seen
I agree.
in the last couple of years. That's cool.
We talked a little bit about a type of a link program, and we're trying to learn more about it. Has anybody ever used the I don't even know what you call it, the app Linktree? And it's I don't even know if it's new because I'm behind the times anyway. My niece was showing me that it's a way that you can download an app, and it's always, I don't know if you say the word live, but you can put information in it and change that information, and whoever has it opened in our name would get new information, new articles. The way Jacob will send us an article of some cool new thing, if you put the link to that article in this app, then it would update it, and everybody who has the app would get to read that article too. I don't know if it's something that we can incorporate this year, but I think it's something that maybe with looking for younger people and students, it's a way that they're probably way more comfortable dealing with apps and getting information that way. So
That's Australia.
it's very cool.
I'm gonna drop off for a minute. That call's coming in from Australia, and it's from a friend of mine in Melbourne, so I'm gonna take that just for a few minutes. I'll be right back.
Okay, okay, while we wait, while Belinda gets herself situated, guys, we want this to look good. You all know that, well, we all put our hearts and our souls into this 10 months out of the year. I'm very, very concerned with numbers. Rev, do you by chance have the numbers from year one versus year two?
Off the top of my head, I think it was like 60 to 70 year one and 40-ish year two.
Yeah, that's my theory. We have to, and I know it's church, we have to find a way, whether it's by word of mouth, get the numbers up. Because I mean, it's nice that we all have familiar faces that we know, but guys, 70 to 40, that's a big drop. We do have a flyer. Oh, excuse me. John typed up a list of organizations that we could reach out to. I still have it. Kim and my mom are going to work on that. My mom's busy with things upstairs. Kim, I don't know what's going on, but I think I'm going to share the list with all of you tomorrow. And if each of us takes, I don't know if John's still with us or not, but
Yeah, I am. I'm back.
oh, you are back. Okay. There was a good number of organizations and establishments we could reach out to. I will send that to you all again. If we want this to look good, I suggest we start reaching out to organizations and such.
Did
You
you say
mean-
that you do have a flyer prepared?
We do have a flyer prepared. Yes.
Okay.
Linda.
So can you send that along with the list so we have something to offer people?
We don't have any, yeah, right.
Yeah, I will. I'll attach all that after the meeting. I'll attach that in an email.
Jacob, as I recall, it was a long list, but how are you gonna know? If I take the first five, maybe Linda's gonna take the first five and not know that I'm taking the first five. How are we gonna do that? Because we don't wanna, we don't need two or
Right.
three of them going to the same people,
Right, jump on
same
each other's
organization.
shoes. Yeah. I don't know how we want to work that
But
out.
you may have to think overnight about it.
Yeah, I'll think overnight. I'll think overnight about it and I'll get back to you in the morning. Yeah, I'll think overnight on it and I'll get back to you all in the morning about how we're going to separate that out. John, do you have a, I see your wheels are spinning, turning.
Yeah, it's a pretty simple system. All you do is you make one person the coordinating person of who's going where. Then anybody who looks at the list and says, that's somebody I have a real connection with. then
Right.
That person, then you put that in the thing. That should be circulated to the entire mailing list each time somebody takes it. Like, I'm going to talk to the people from the Greater Atlantic Cancer Fund. So there's no need for anybody else to waste their time chasing that
Right.
group, because I'll talk to them. I'm sure each one of us has one or two groups that we can talk to. There's a church up in Port Republic that I'm going to talk to. So there's, different, as soon as you list them, whoever that coordinating person is, if that's Kathleen or Barb or whoever it is, just when you pick somebody, you let that person know that that group is taken. That way we're not stepping on one another.
I got it. Thank you. So would anyone like to assist in taking that responsibility?
It really is it's a pretty simple task. You get an email from somebody and say, I got that group. Okay, then she just circulates that to everybody else. So that one's gone.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I
I was kind of picturing that we would just get the email, we would all get the email, and we would just all kind of say, I've got this, this, and this one. And then everybody reads that, just be a long chain email. That's what I was kind of picturing.
and I get where you're going now. Thank you. Yeah, that's easy. So everybody can just add on, stop off, do what you gotta do. Thank you, Ann. I understand where you're going now.
I mean, that's just what I was picturing would happen, kind of. How long is this list?
I'm gonna disappear off the screen a second.
I mean, just about.
My guess is that we had about 15 groups on there, 12 to 15.
Did you say 12 to 15?
Yeah,
Yes, that's what it looks like here.
yeah. It just was,
Yeah, I mean, I think if we just all get the email and we each say, oh, I can talk to this person, this person, this person, we're gonna be through 12 to 15 in a few minutes of responding, I think. I mean, I'll get right back to you as soon as I see that list.
Yeah, like I said, I'll send it to you all after the meeting is concluded. Participant, president. Yeah. We just have to. I'm going to be reaching out to, in addition to what's there, I'm going to reach out to my contacts throughout Atlantic and Cape May County and see what they say. I have a lot of contacts within the schools. Maybe I know Belinda works in the same office as the county superintendent of schools. I don't know if that's a hurt I don't know if that'll work or not, but that's another thought. Maybe she could circulate something. I know, I am going to ACCC next Wednesday to promote an event over there for their ADA club, I believe it's called. Barb and Kathleen, you were there when I spoke. I'm not speaking, I'm just going to hopefully booster them up somehow. But I asked Jesse Kurtz if I could distribute my information there. So that's being worked on. I remember Guardian and Palestina's offices. Not that we're trying to get political, because I really don't. They would also assist with spreading the word and such. So, but like
ACCC will have an officer at the Field of Dreams on next Saturday, not this Saturday, next Saturday. Susan Smith is going to come there and talk about, she's going to have a table where she's going to distribute stuff about job opportunities for special populations.
John,
Jacob,
is that
Jacob,
Go
have you
ahead.
gone to the Methodist websites? We have a district email, we've got conference websites. It's real easy to get on. Rev Dave, have we been on before?
We have, we've talked to the district superintendent's office too.
Which would cover all the United Methodist churches in the area with our district
Yeah.
superintendent.
She runs over 80 churches.
so Rev, or one of us sends an email to her? Is that the idea?
Yeah, I can do that.
All right, thank you. That's good. But we do have to be careful. If we go to, I'm just throwing this out as an example. If we go to publicity as far as your local radio stations, and yes, I know quite a few people there. They get tacky's not the right word, but they get funny as many times as you publicize events. I worked over at WIBG for I was there for almost 5 years, and I still use them, but after one time, they're ready to charge you arm and a leg, even if you know them. So the name of the game is, even if you know somebody, it doesn't.
Yeah.
I mean, it's good, but it doesn't serve.
Is the flyer something that we can share on Facebook easily?
Yes, yeah, it is, Linda.
Okay.
And when you send the list to us tomorrow, you'll attach the flyer also?
Absolutely.
Okay. Cool.
Absolutely. What am I forgetting something here? Just whenever Belinda's ready, I'll pass it on. Belinda, are you ready?
Belinda put something in the chat that her phone is cutting in and out. So she let us know that she would like her 5 minutes to be about alternative therapy options and the great progress that her child has had this year.
Thank you, Rabbi. I didn't see that in the chat. That's good with me, and I will converse with her in probably tomorrow. Guys, to make life easy on the Rev and I, when would we like for the speaking people? When would we like their stuff due so you and I can start making it pretty and everything else?
Well, my whole point is, I'm going to talk about Joe Brown, but I'm going to talk about Joe Brown for the fact of the impact that he had on society, how he challenged himself. He was a part of the handicap accessibility law that is now in full force around the country. He was a part of that in Washington, D.C. in the 80s with me. He was a part of the First Atlantic County Advisory Board, so I'm gonna tie those pieces of the puzzle together. I think to make the night the event entertaining, it's probably gonna be good to go speaker, video, slides, PowerPoint, whatever we're gonna do. Keep changing the modalities of which you are showing this information rather than just one person talking after another person after another person. Gets really boring and you have diminishing returns. So the last person to speak, people are turned off by that point. So the key would be the video that you're going to shoot at the field now. How is that going to differ from the video that the guy from Cornell did about the field, where he interviewed people? That's point one. And point two is that someone needs to preview the video that they did on Joe Brown at the Donnie Awards, because my recollection of that is that it was pretty good, but it was also too long. So you need to look at all those pieces, and if we're going to do some slides or some materials, the more audiovisual you're going to have interspersed with the speeches, the better off you're going to be.
And the video, John, I'm just telling you the truth because I was over there before I was told to shoo, as Sal would say, before I got shooed off to other parts of the field. He wanted real stories from parents. John, my grandfather, was involved. I only saw that in the one picture that I was sent. So his is more of what do the parents remember? How has the field impacted lives? I even included some pictures from the beginning if you wanted to put that in. But the beginning, before we get into the field aspect of things, and I was not prepared for this. Nobody was. There was a camera right where I am sitting. I was being videotaped going down my driveway, and I hope it's not in there. Going down the driveway, getting on the bus. Sal had a camera on me the entire time. Mom, he had mom doing a transfer. I get what you're saying, but I get it. I want to see the video myself before we proceed with anything.
I think we can see from, the time allotments that each person has, any video more than a minute and a half is going to take up just about your whole time.
Right. Absolutely, Rev. So you and I can get with him as it gets closer and see what the length of what he was looking to do. Last I remember hearing was 2.5 minutes. That was the last I heard, which was the day of. So that's as good as I have right now. Guys, that's all I have here. Any other questions?
At some point in between this meeting, and not tonight, but the video that the Cornell guy did, this video, and the Joe Brown video should be seen by everybody on this screen, and let them all say, here's something I think is very appropriate, and here's stuff that's fluff that we don't really need. So we get it down, and it's a tight, entertaining show that's very informative. Because if it wanders off into telling everybody how wonderful the Field of Dreams is, we think that, but that's not the purpose of this night.
All right.
I will email I have the videographer's business card and a picture. I will. Rev, maybe could you help me write a nice formal email to the
Yeah.
videographer so I don't wind up saying too much and saying things I shouldn't be saying to somebody because
I'm Jacob's, I'm the word guy.
Yeah, you are the word guy. That's why I have you look over everything I write before it goes anywhere. But yes, John, that we will look into that, and I will contact him tonight or tomorrow. But yes, I will reach out. Sam, do you have any questions?
His microphone isn't on, I see. He's got a thing through his microphone. He just wanted to listen.
Oh, we just wanted to listen in. All right.
Yeah,
Lynn,
I
Please
wanted
leave
to ask
Go ahead,
permission. I will be happy to do a poster. I don't need to talk, but just have a poster there that says, is your voting place handicap accessible? Just those words, a big question mark, and, you know, they've just been there. I'd like to know if there were any problems. You and I have talked about that at length.
yes, we have, and the different voting and polling places around the county.
Yeah, so they, you know, just, they've been there, were there issues? And I can be the point person for getting back, if you would allow me to do that.
Yes, please. Yes. That's 3 yeses, Lynn. Yes, please.
Can you put on there also, Lynn, ask if the people that were voted for are mentally challenged?
No, John, I'm not gonna ask that. But Jacob and I have, when I was on the Board of Elections, my morning was spent going to polling places that I knew had major problems. And it's amazing. I was, you know, I continually be horrified. If you were in a wheelchair, how you would get in there. It's just, it's not okay. And the entire ADA committee from the county, along with all the Board of Election commissioners, are part of the group that are supposed to make it happen. And they're after people and they evaluate and I write my reports and it still doesn't get done. So, you know, I'm old. I've been around the house a few times and I'm willing to keep going around the house and saying, you got to fix this. Right, Jacob?
Right, Lynn. Lynn, am I correct? Didn't you tell me a story? Where was it, Lynn? I believe you told me it was either
Summers Point. Yes. It is a place in a senior center. That's its purpose. Seniors gather there. There's not one permanent handicapped parking spot anywhere for the entire senior center. They block off a car length right at the corner and put up a sign that says for disability parking at election time. Now, through my screaming, we finally got a curb cut because at first there wasn't even a curb cut. Now we've got a curb cut that they can go up, but I don't understand people. But I'm not stopping.
Oh, I know. I would think a curb cut would be, I can't even want to imagine what that would be like. So Lynn, let me ask you, so they have these handicap parking spots. How far away? Oh God, I'm throwing papers everywhere. How far is that away from the senior center? Like, would someone have to walk a long distance?
I'm trying to think of our church that all of you may be familiar with. Yeah, they would have to walk. I guess I'll describe it from the corner of Church and Pitney, from that corner where there's the curb cut into the Great Hall.
Ooh,
That far.
Oh my
But that's
God.
the place. And as I said, it's a senior center. Now, maybe Summers Point has unbelievably active young seniors that don't need any handicap parking. I don't know. But I don't know how you open a senior center with at least, not at least one handicap parking spot. It's beyond me.
You're right. And how they can get away with that is, ooh.
Well, that's why I would like to sign up, because everyone's going to different places. Let me know how things are. And I thank you. You said yes. I didn't see everybody else saying yes, but I'm assuming someone would scream, no, you can't have a sign if I'm not allowed to put a sign.
I know.
Okay?
Okay, thank you.
That sounds good.
Yeah, that's a yes. Yeah, you know, some of the things you see, you just shake your head and go, "Oh, really?" This and I'll tell this quick story. I was down at the Field of Dreams one day taping a news story when Sam and I were on TV, and I said, and the New Jersey Transit driver says to me, "Can I drop you off by the first base dugout?" "No, please do not drop me off there. I don't feel safe there." And he didn't want to listen to me. I said, "Could you please drop me off where the words say loading zone?" He picked me up there, but he was adamant to drop me off at the by the first base dugout. I said, "I don't care if anybody's not there. Cars come flying around there like murder. You don't know." And I called transit the next day and gave him an earful.
See, that's exactly what we don't want to have happen this night, is that everybody gives us their complaint system as to what is wrong. What Lynn is suggesting to do is the right takeaway from this meeting. If you encounter a problem, what can you do about it and who do you do it with? And by handling the election things, that's the great takeaway from this event, that people will have a pathway to go and address that problem.
On John's comments about how we want to advertise the videos or play them in, how would you like me? How would we all like to see these? Would we like to do a Zoom meeting? Would we like me to send them all to you in an email? I will do whatever in my power. I would just like to know how you would like to view these.
What video are you talking about?
When you were mentioning remember what you just said about wanting to view the videos, see the videos, the Field video and the Cornell video and whatever Sal's doing. You didn't, or I might have misunderstood you, and I'm sorry if I did. You said you wanted to see the videos before the meeting happens. How would you?
The video for Cornell is on the Field of Dreams website, so anybody can see that. All you gotta do is log on to southjerseyfieldofdreams.com, and you can see the Cornell one. The one that Joe Brown was done for Joe Brown, you say you have a copy of that. Just put that on an email to everybody, so anybody that wants to look at it can look at it. The one with where you're being focused on, that one we need to see as to how that's gonna play with the other two videos. That might be the only video we use and we forget the other two. That's why they gotta see all three of them.
Well, but that's what I'm asking. Would you guys like me to attach them?
To an
all?
email.
Yes.
I
email-
would. I'd
Email,
appreciate that because then I can look when I have time.
Right.
Rather than schedule a Zoom meeting.
Thank you. Thank you, guys. Linda, that's what I was trying to figure out, how you
Okay.
wanted to work that in. Thank you for clarifying all that.
Sure.
But yeah, that's what I feel would be best. And yeah, that's good to me. If anyone thinks of ways of advertising, Kathleen, and this just popped in my brain. Next act,
Action Club.
thank you. The brain was computing right, but the mouth wasn't working. The next Action Club meeting, maybe mentioned to a few parents.
Sure.
I'm going to be giving, John, I'm not there this weekend, but next weekend when I'm down the field, I'll give, Sam, you're getting flyers from me for the press box, if you wanna hang them or whatever you wanna do with them down the field. But that's how I'll start working with that. And if anyone has any ideas on advertising, just shoot me an email or text, any of that. Any last thoughts, guys?
Nope.
Thank you all for being here. Thank you for participating throughout the year. As I've said every day since year one, yes, but it's really you guys that help me make the night what it is, Rev and I and everyone else. So thank you, everybody, for your faithfulness and your help over the last 3 years. And that sounds good. Okay, guys, we're all good.
Thanks, Jacob.
Thank you. Thank you.
all.
Talk to you soon after the email tomorrow.
Yeah, Papa. Talk to you soon.
Thank you. Night, everyone.
Good night.
good night, good night.
Bye.